Hey there. I've been saying I was going to make this video for a while and I never got around to it. So I had some free time and I decided why not go ahead and make this good old video about how I lost 125 pounds, which is mostly attributed to weight loss surgery and frequently asked questions that I've been getting a lot. I'm not a good writer, so I figured it's best for me to just do video because I've always been better with just seeing what I gotta say rather than writing it down. And I don't like writing, so I do have some notes. So, yes, I have lost 125 pounds, and I did have weight loss surgery. I had the gastric sleeve, VSG vertical sleeve gastrectomy on February 2nd, 2015. My surgeon was Dr. Ramos Kelly in Tijuana, Mexico, and he's bomb. I highly recommend him to anyone who is. Well, let me just tell you how I came to find him and all that. Once I decided I did want to have weight loss surgery, I had 4 different consults with different surgeons here, which is how I found out that my insurance did not cover weight loss surgery. So I was going to have to come out of pocket. I did with True Results, Dr. Kim, Dr. Barker, and I forget the other. But yeah, so I went and saw 4 different people, and everyone said the same thing. My insurance didn't cover it, blah blah. I was a good candidate and all that. Well, I actually started first by talking with the 4th person, my PCP actually recommended. Oh, forgive my nails. My PCP actually recommended, and so that was the 4th person. I just don't remember the doctor's name. But anyhow, so my PCP checked me out, referred me to someone. I started with him, and then I researched on my own and found the other doctors. And everybody was cool or whatever, but it was going to be around $12,000, a little over $12,000 for me to pay out of pocket. It was between 12 and 15,000, just depending on who I went with, what surgical facility they used, etc. So I was going, finance it, do the care credit thing or whatever. And I actually remembered that I had a couple clients tell me that they had weight loss surgery in Mexico. So just out of curiosity, I started Googling and came across a lot of information on medical tourism, which is what they call it when people go out of the country to have elective surgery. Um, and of course, you have the stories they end up on botched or whatever. But I found a lot of very reputable doctors and good experiences or whatever the case may be. So I started just researching, seeing what was out there or whatever, and I talked to a person that I know that had weight loss surgery about it. And it was like, yeah, if my insurance didn't cover it, I had looked into this doctor. I was going to go to Mexico. They gave me his information or whatever. And I was like, oh, really? Okay. So like I said, did some research, did some Google searches or whatever, and I came across quite a few like Facebook groups and YouTube videos and different forums of places who had people that had gone abroad to have different surgery and specifically weight loss surgery, which is what I was looking for. And they shared their experiences, and they were years out and they were fine and all that. So I was like, okay, still just thinking about it or whatever. So I did a lot of research, narrowed it down to 2 doctors. I actually talked to the consultants of the doctors, and then they have the doctors call you. And I decided on one. Still prayed about it. Then I talked to my family about it. Long story short, I decided to go with Dr. Ramos Kelly, and he is great, no regrets. And anyway, so that was my little spiel on it because I get a lot of questions about why I chose to go to Mexico and how that experience was. It was great, no regrets. I wouldn't recommend, I'm not recommending it to anybody. It's just an option. I'm not an advocate for, weight loss surgery, nor am I an advocate for people going out of the country. I say do what's best for you and what suits you. I'm just, sharing my experience because I do get a lot of questions about it. So just want to put it out there. So why I decided to have weight loss surgery? Well, I was tired of being fat. Tired of being fat. I had a lot of back problems. Just a plethora of things. That'll have to be another video for another day. But when I decided to have weight loss surgery, like I said, the cost here for me out of pocket was between 12 and 15,000. I ended up, when I went to Mexico, I paid around, my surgery and everything was like 4,700, which included all of my meds and everything like that. And then I did have to pay for, my plane ticket to get there. My mom went with me, so I paid for our plane tickets, and I took extra spending money in case anything came up. And then for her, food and stuff like that. So I would say around maybe 5,500 to $6,000, some around there. No more than $6,000. I don't think it was anything over that. How long did I take off work is a question I get. I'm a hairstylist, makeup artist. I took off of work for a week, but I actually went back after I think I came back after 4 days when I came back home. And I went back to work because I was bored sitting at home. I went back early. I forget how long I actually took off, but I went in early because I don't like sitting at home, being idle and all of that. So I went back to work, but I had someone shampooing for me, and I only did a few clients a day, literally 2, maybe 3. So I wasn't at work long, and I spaced them out so I can sit down and take a break, because when you do start moving around after surgery, you get tired really easily. Was I scared? A lot of people say they're scared. I think it's completely normal to be scared anytime you're having any type of surgery. Whether it's elective surgery, whether it's non-elective, heart surgery, anything. Anytime you're going under the knife, I think it's absolutely normal to be afraid, to be scared. And so I was scared. I had never had surgery a day in my life, aside from I had my tonsils removed as a kid. Other than that, I never had any kind of surgery. So I was very scared. And then when I got over there, I was like, what in the hell made me decide to have my first surgery out of the damn country? Who does that? So, but by the time I was already over there, and it wasn't anything bad. It was just in my head, I was kind of cool, up until then a few days before. I'm like, oh my God. And I've been praying about it and, talking to God about it. And I knew, I told my mom, hey, if we get out here and things don't look right or whatever, it don't seem like what it is, we coming right on back home, and I'll get that 12K together and we'll just go ahead and do that. But, like I said, my experience was great. Nothing went wrong. Nothing happened. It was just, those, before you go into surgery, your mind just start racing. You start thinking about everything that could go wrong. So it was nothing that happened. It was just my mind wondering why I decided this seemed like such a great idea. Then now out here, wait a minute, hold up, I need to go home. So anyway, aside from just my nervous jitters in my head, like I said, I think it's absolutely normal to be afraid. Like I said, I was very afraid. I think it just boils down to, how bad do you want it? And that's with anything, you know what I mean? And so, like I said, this is definitely an elective procedure, meaning it's not, at least not for me, it wasn't life and death. I know some people, depending on how much you weigh or what you have going on, it could be life or death. For me, it wasn't to that point, but I felt like it could definitely get there. So I was afraid, but for me, the reward, in my head at the time, I felt like the reward and the results outweighed the fears that I had about it. And like I said, I had prayed about it months and months and months, and I really did feel pretty much at peace, until as I got there, and at the moment with the IVs and all of that, just, being in the hospital, and I just don't really do well with that kind of thing. So, that. I got asked, how long did it take me to lose the weight? I had surgery, like I said, February 2nd of last year, and we are now almost in May. So I'm about 15 months out. It took about a little over a year, really. It took a little over a year. In the journey, even when you have weight loss surgery, you have stalls. And stalls is when it's just periods of time when the scale doesn't move. Just like you have stalls when you're, doing just typical working out, eating right, diet, whatever. You have the same thing going on with the sleeve. It's not like you get sleeved. Sleeve is a slang term for the gastric vertical sleeve gastrectomy, which is the surgery that I had. You still have those ups and downs. You can gain weight with the sleeve. Don't let nobody lie to you and tell you you can't. You can. There was a girl in one of my support groups that had lost a little over 100 pounds, and she gained that back plus 50 more. So you can gain weight with the sleeve. It is not, just the secret and the bam, you have surgery and you skinny. It don't work that way. So don't be fooled. But it took me a little over a year. Did I have any complications? No, I didn't. My surgery went well. Uh, the only thing, I did have to have my gallbladder removed. I got gallstones, which is one of the side effects of having weight loss surgery. Everybody doesn't, like in my support group, nobody has had gallstones. I got them, one in however much. So I did end up getting gallstones, and like I said, again, that doesn't matter where you have the sleeve done, states, out of the states, you know, don't matter. You can sometimes develop gallstones if you have a gallbladder, and you can do that without the sleeve too. Like, people get gallstones, it happens. So yeah, I developed gallstones, and I had to have my gallbladder removed, and then that was in November of last year. Other than that, everything is fine. I do have acid reflux. I had acid reflux before I got sleeved, and they said that was because of my weight. But yeah, I can't, it's actually gotten a lot better, but I can't really eat at night and lay down. I have to make sure that my food is down good before I lay down and go to bed. But like I said, that's something that I dealt with before getting sleeves, so that wasn't new to me. I get asked a lot, do I throw up? No, I don't. Yeah, I don't, they call it the dumping syndrome when you eat certain foods and you throw it up because it doesn't agree with you. I don't have the dumping syndrome. I don't throw up. There's nothing that I can't eat. I just can't eat a lot of it. Now, there are certain things I can't eat. They call them slider foods, which is pretty much junk food. Chips, cookies, that kind of thing. You can eat a whole lot more. I remember a couple months out from surgery, my mom brought me a Snicker because I wasn't eating candy. I was like, I'm staying away from the sweets. That's my weakness. I love sweets. And she brought me a Snicker, and I ate the whole thing. And I called my doctor crying like, hey, this thing broke. What I do to it? What I need to do to fix it? Like, I broke it. He was like, no, it's not real food, so it doesn't hold the same weight on your stomach, if that makes any sense. So when it comes to candy, I can eat a lot more candy than I can actual food, like meat, vegetables. I can eat I eat like a kid, but candy and stuff, I can eat a lot more of that than I can like real food. So you have to be careful with that, and that's how the weight can sneak up on you. Um, what else? How has my life changed since having the sleeve? Um, Honestly, it has changed a lot. And a lot of it is just like, especially in the beginning, getting used to your new way of eating, the new normal. It's a big adjustment to go somewhere. And a lot of times, until you get used to it, you'll go somewhere and you order, your number two with your sweet tea or whatever it is. And then you get it and you like, oh, yeah, I'm going to eat about a bite or two. Or just depending on how your sleeve is doing that day. And I say that because certain days I can eat more than others. And even when I say more, that means I probably could eat a kid's burger. I still can't eat a kid's burger, but you can just eat more than others. Some days I get full off of 2 bites or something. Some days I really can't finish, more food. So it's just getting used to the new way of eating. That's an adjustment. And then just getting used to the new me. Like, it took a while, and even still some days I don't recognize myself looking in the mirror because I've never been this size even, because I don't feel like I'm skinny. I don't feel like I'm small, but I've never been this size. Like, now I wear like a 14, some 12s. But the smallest I remember being, like, in high school, I was at 18, 20. So I probably wore a 12, 14 in middle school, I guess. I don't know. I've always been a big girl, so that's what I'm used to seeing. I'm not used to seeing me like this. So what I've had to do, I take a lot of pictures. Well, not only, it's good to take pictures in your journey because a lot of times people will see it before you actually see it. But when you look at it on the picture, it's like, oh, okay. Versus when you're looking at yourself every day, you just feel like, I ain't lost nothing. And I mean, it took for me losing pretty much when I got between the 80 to 100 pound mark, when I was like, wow. Before that, I mean, I felt like I lost, the same way you feel like you lose about 10, 20 pounds. It felt like that. So it's just a big adjustment for your mind and your eyes to catch up to what's actually going on. That's a big adjustment. Another big adjustment is just people not recognizing you, and you be like, don't act like you don't know me, you know. It's been plenty of times where I've been out, and you know, you see people be like, hey, and they be like, and you like, like you don't know me. Oh, so you gonna look at me like that? And they be like, and it take on me, and I guess when I start talking, they're like, oh, hey. And it's like, in my head, I'm like, they gonna act like they don't know me. Why they acting like that? But you don't realize when you look different. But I mean, you don't walk around every day like I look different. So let me introduce myself to everybody. You just walk around like you. You just you, right? So that's a big adjustment. So now when I'm out and I see somebody that I haven't seen in a while, I just won't say nothing. If they say something first, then I'll say, hey. If not, then I just be like, all right. Because I don't even feel like going through all that. It's me, Shanita. You know, child. It's all right, child. So if you see me out and I ain't saying nothing, that's why I feel like you didn't know who I was. And I just didn't feel like going through explaining who I am. So I just be like, whatever, child. That's it. Pretty much your relationship with food, learning to you know, just learning the new you. Feel like you learning how to dress yourself again. Just becoming acquainted with the new person that you see in the mirror. That's a big adjustment. And I never understood why a lot of times if you're going through your insurance, they make you do a psychological evaluation. And sometimes I've even heard that after you still see a psychiatrist or a psychologist, one of them. And it really is, a lot of the weight loss really is mental, and it really does play an effect on you mentally. Like, I know one of my biggest fears, and it kind of still is, even though my weight loss has slowed down a whole lot, and I have to, like, at this point, I don't really lose unless I try, meaning I'm watching what I eat and I'm working out real hard. I'm not trying to lose any more weight at this time, so I'm not worried about it. I just do what I need to do to maintain. But yeah, what was I saying? Oh hell. Yeah, it really plays a big role in you mentally. And I know my biggest fear was like getting super small and looking sickly or looking like a bobblehead or something like that. So when people be like, "Oh, you're getting so small," it's like, is that a good thing? Am I looking bad? Like, so but it's just been a lot. That's another video. The changes, like I said, people change around you, and I know that I read about that, like people having issues in relationships and with friendships, and I never thought that would happen to me. And I can honestly say, thank God. You know, I have a great group of people around me, my friends, my family. I have a great group of people, so I have not lost any friends or anything like that. My family not acting funny, thank God. But I did have, you know, there is one friend that things are different. And I honestly don't know if it's attributed to weight loss surgery, but I definitely was surprised that she, in my opinion, did not support me. And I was very honestly hurt by her lack of support. And it just really opened my eyes to some things. I just never thought that that would happen to me because, you know, everybody feel like they friends are true, genuine friends. And I'll be honest, it just made me question my friendship with that person. But again, that's another topic for another day. And any regrets? No. I have no regrets. My only regret is not doing it sooner. But I do feel like things happen at the time they're meant to happen and the way they're meant to happen. So that was my time. That was the time God had for me, and that's what it was. But anyway, this thing is about to be 20 minutes long, and that's not what I meant to do. So, yeah, I just wanted to answer a few questions that I've gotten quite often. These are the questions I get a lot. If you have any other questions, feel free to inbox me or whatever. Ask me. I don't mind sharing. And the reason I don't mind sharing now, because I'll say in the beginning, I didn't really tell, like my family and my friends knew, my clients knew. If you ask me, I would tell you I had weight loss surgery, but aside from that, I didn't post on social media about anything like that simply because I didn't want the extra. When I say the extra, the judgment, the stares, the people watching what you eating, the people, you know, just all that extra that people do when you tell them you had weight loss surgery. Well, yeah, weight loss. Your mama died, your cousin died, your granny. I don't want to hear what happened to other people. You know, I just didn't want the extras. So I just wanted to kind of go through my journey, experience what I experienced, and now that I'm, secure and stable in my situation, I feel like I can help openly. So yeah, like I said, if you have any questions or anything, let me know. But I definitely hope this helped, and talk to you later.